What is going on, Trash Talkers? We're back with another episode for you. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the New England Patriots and their 2021 season preview, including record predictions. All that and much more coming your way right now! Hey Trash Talkers, it's Mike here. Over 93% of you who view our show each and every day are not subscribed to the channel. If you could hit that red subscribe button, it would help us out tremendously, and it is completely free for you guys. If you want to stay up to date with our daily content, then click that bell icon and you will be notified every time we go live. Nick and I both really appreciate you subscribing to the channel, and we can't wait to keep making more daily content for you. All right, Nick, as we continue the series, we are now fully entrenched in the AFC East. We started off with the Buffalo Bills yesterday, and now we are on to the New England Patriots. New England Patriots coming off of a lackluster season, to say the least. You know, the first season without Tom Brady, the COVID-ridden season, the whole gambit is out there for you to read. But this offseason, the Patriots were by far and away the most aggressive team. So I want to go through their plethora of additions and, hang on because this is about to be a bumpy ride. So let's start off with their additions. We'll go through some losses and we'll go from there. Starting with the additions, we have tight end Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry, tackle Trent Brown, defensive tackle Davon Godchaux, cornerback Jalen Mills, wide receivers Nelson Agholor and Kendrick Bourne, defensive lineman Henry Anderson, offensive lineman Ted Karras, linebackers Kyle Van Noy, quarterback Mac Jones, defensive line Christian Barmore, Ronnie Perkins, and linebacker Matt Judon. Out of these additions, which one is the biggest and most notable for the Patriots?
To me, it's definitely going to be the two tight ends, Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith. What the Patriots have missing for 2 years now are tight ends. First year without Rob Gronkowski, they had no tight ends on the roster. They said, we don't need them. Turns out they did. Last year, they said, okay, we'll go draft two tight ends. Well, they barely played. In fact, there was only one touchdown by a tight end by the Patriots last season, and it came at the very end of the season in the last couple weeks. I think that the Patriots really learned this offseason. They took advantage of such a heavy tight end free agency, getting the top two guys and bringing them to your team who are bona fide stars. Jonnu Smith's on his way up. I think that they can recreate Rob Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez on this roster. They can really get back to running the seams, and they can really help stretch the field and help the lackluster wide receivers that they have on the team. To me, the tight ends are really going to be the focal point of this offense. That's exactly what Cam Newton is looking for. And they're also going to be able to help a lot with the run game. The Patriots have added a lot of big bodies to this team as running backs and offensive linemen, and the tight ends are going to help a ton in the run game as well.
Yeah, I mean, I take a look at this team, and there's not a position group that didn't get better this offseason. And I would like to hit on the wide receivers just because of, that was the worst group in the NFL. But I have to go with the linebackers. Kyle Van Noy and Matt Judon coming over to the New England Patriots. Kyle Van Noy returning after his 1 year in Miami. I think that these outside linebackers paired up with Dont'a Hightower, who actually returns from COVID when he opted out of the season. This is a completely different linebacking core than they had last year, and honestly could be one of the best linebacking groups in the NFL. I believe that they are so talented. They're going to be able to rush this passer. The entire defense really got much better. The defensive line, edge help, everything. But these linebackers got so much better with Kyle Van Noy, Matt Judon, Dont'a Hightower. Look for the New England Patriots to utilize all of their linebackers that they brought in this offseason as, kind of the boogeymen 2.0, if you will. All right, well, with additions, there's also losses. So we got to go through some of the losses that the New England Patriots suffered this offseason, including wide receiver Julian Edelman, offensive lineman Joe Thuney, defensive tackle Adam Butler, cornerback Jason McCourty, offensive tackle Marcus Cannon, and safety Patrick Chung. Of which do you believe are the biggest losses for the Patriots?
It's going to be Joe Thuney. He's arguably one of the best guards in the NFL, and the Kansas City Chiefs offered him a contract the Patriots really couldn't compete with. Joe Thuney is really going to help the Kansas City Chiefs, but he's also going to leave a big hole for the New England Patriots. They're hoping that their stud rookie from last year can fill that hole, but it's going to take some time for him to get used to that role. Joe Thuney was such a staple and really locked down that position. If you look back to the Super Bowl against the Los Angeles Rams, he absolutely handled Aaron Donald, not allowing a sack from him. He held Aaron Donald in those one-on-one situations. That's where he really made a name for himself. He's going to continue that in his career as he moves on, but the Patriots are going to try to fill that void. Hopefully Michael Onwenu can fill that void. It's yet to be seen, but Joe Thuney is a big loss for the Patriots.
Yeah, Joe Thuney, massive loss. And I mean, some of these names are very key names that played real big roles for the Patriots, but none bigger, in my opinion, than wide receiver Julian Edelman. Julian Edelman, while the production wasn't always there, while he always wasn't the best receiver on the football field, he always had the biggest heart. He always had the biggest mindset. He was always scrappy and willing to do whatever it took to win the football game. And Julian Edelman was the heart and soul of the Patriots locker room. When you remove the heart and soul, it is a big, big loss for that locker room to not have that guy in there anymore. And listen, even today we heard from Matthew Slater, who said that he was upset that Julian Edelman will not be part of this locker room anymore. In fact, that they lost a big piece, but there's going to be players that step up and have to fill that role. I think Julian Edelman brought a lot more to the team than what he just showed on Sundays. He brought a lot to practices. He brought a lot to the locker room, a lot to the mindsets and meetings. So I think that the loss of Edelman, number 11, will always remain in Foxborough, but he will not remain on the field for the Patriots. All right, with that being said, let's head over to the schedule and take a look at what the Patriots' record predictions look like for the 2021 NFL season. All right, starting off in week 1, the New England Patriots host the Miami Dolphins, and this is, one of those division matchups where you look at and you say, this could go either way, but the Miami Dolphins are down one of their major acquisition pieces from this offseason. Will Fuller is still suspended and will not be part of this matchup. Tua Tagovailoa is going to have to rely on his rookie wide receiver, which he doesn't really have real rapport with just yet, and Devontae Parker, who he's had since last year. I believe that the New England Patriots at home week 1 are looking to make a statement. Look for Bill Belichick to really put on a show defensively to show that the Patriots are back and should not be messed with.
In week 2, the New England Patriots make their way to MetLife Stadium facing the Jets and new quarterback Zach Wilson for the first time. Bill Belichick loves facing off against rookie quarterbacks, and none more than Jets rookie quarterbacks. He's going to want to make a statement. Like you said, Boogeymen showed up in week 1. They're going to show out in week 2 as well. They're absolutely going to obliterate the Jets, and hopefully in week 2 we see Zach Wilson seeing some ghosts.
In week 3, we have the New Orleans Saints coming to town to Foxborough to take on the Patriots, and this is, again, not the same Drew Brees-led Saints team that we are used to. This is not Drew Brees, Tom Brady. Both of those quarterbacks gone. Jameis Winston is now leading this team, and with Cam Newton at the helm, there's a ton of chance that he can run all over this team, and the Saints really struggled with their run defense last year, and the loss of Sheldon Rankins, the loss of Trey Hendrickson, really going to be massive for this team. Look for the Patriots to take care of the Saints early and often, especially with the running game. Time of possession, he's going to limit what Jameis Winston can do offensively. I think that Bill Belichick has the perfect game plan for this Saints team.
In week 4, we get the game of the year, the game of the century, the game we've all been looking forward to. Tom Brady versus Bill Belichick, the Buccaneers at New England facing the Patriots. This is going to be such an amazing game to watch, such a spectacle to see how Bill Belichick and his defensive mind can scheme up against the greatest of all time, Tom Brady. At the end of the day, it comes down to these two teams as a whole, and to me, the Buccaneers are still the superior team. They have the chemistry coming over from their Super Bowl winning season last year, and they're going to put it all together as the Patriots are still trying to figure things out. Although they're winning, they're still trying to figure things out. The Buccaneers defense is going to take care of this Patriots offense, and Bucs are going to be putting up plenty of points against the Patriots in this one.
All right, the Patriots are starting off hot, 3-1, coming off of a loss to a Buccaneers team that is defending Super Bowl champions. But week 5, the Patriots go on the road to Houston, and listen, the Houston Texans are in a rough spot. Nobody expects Deshaun Watson to be playing this season. They are in full rebuild mode. They don't really have the draft capital to get that done, so they're just kind of put spot free agents around and kind of hope for the best. Nick Caserio in his first year there is trying to rebuild this team, but it's not going to happen this year. The Patriots are absolutely going to decimate the Houston Texans in week 5.
In week 6, the Dallas Cowboys make their way to the New England Patriots for the second time in 3 years. And Dallas Cowboys have got their hands full as the Patriots are riding hot. The Patriots offense has really proven to have turned itself around, and it's going to be a tough task for the Dallas Cowboys secondary, which hasn't improved too much after they lost Chidobe Awuzie this offseason. Dallas Cowboys added Micah Parsons. That's a big step in the right direction to helping the run game, but I think that the secondary is still going to struggle with the Patriots passing attack. These 2 tight ends that the Patriots have are really going to show out for them against the Dallas Cowboys, and the secondary for the Patriots is really going to prove to be strong against the 3-headed monster the Cowboys have at wide receiver.
Then in week 7, the New York Jets come to New England. They face the Patriots at home, and kind of like what happened in week 2, Zach Wilson is going to see a lot of different defensive schemes that he's not used to. He's going to see linebackers walking around the field, not really set in a position. He's not going to know where the blitzes are coming from. He's not going to know what the coverages are going to be masked as. So a lot of things are going to be racing through this young rookie's mind. He's still early in his career. He is not going to be able to get the best of the Patriots in Foxborough. Look for the Patriots to win in week 7.
In week 8, the New England Patriots make their way to Los Angeles, facing the Chargers in Los Angeles in back-to-back years. Last year, they went into Los Angeles and absolutely destroyed the Los Angeles Chargers. To me, it's going to be a similar result. The Chargers really haven't improved too much off of last season, and the Patriots have gotten a ton better. The Patriots should have a very easy time in week 8 against the Chargers.
Then in week 9, the New England Patriots go on the road for the second straight game to face the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers, much more improved, but the quarterback that they are toting out there will be Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold knows all too well what the Patriots can do defensively. He knows what Dante Hightower and Kyle Van Noy are about. He is going to see his ghosts yet again. They are coming back. The Boogeymen 2.0 are going to haunt Sam Darnold all week leading up to this game. Probably not going to get a whole ton of sleep, but either way, the Patriots will come out victorious in Carolina.
Week 10 offers a huge challenge for the Patriots as Cleveland makes their way. This team has really solidified the only holes that they had at linebacker. They got stronger in their secondary with Grant Delpit and John Johnson now being there. To me, the Cleveland Browns are going to be a very tall task for the Patriots and just a little too much for them to overcome. The Cleveland Browns will take week 10 in New England.
All right, coming off of their second loss of the season, the Patriots are sitting much better than where they were just a year ago, but sitting at 8-2. The Patriots go on the road to Atlanta on a short week to face the Atlanta Falcons, and this is not the same Atlanta Falcons that really gave up the lead 28-3 in the Super Bowl. This is an Atlanta Falcons that doesn't have Julio Jones, doesn't have Todd Gurley. I mean, they're really struggling offensively, and then defensively, there's not really much there for them to really hang their hat on. The addition of Kyle Pitts is great, and he's going to be a spectacular weapon in the middle of the field. But if Bill Belichick knows how to do one thing, it's take away your best option. That's either going to be Kyle Pitts or Calvin Ridley, and I believe that the Patriots are going to take at least one of them, if not both of them, away, and the Falcons are going to be left scratching their head on what to do offensively. Either way, I think the Patriots come out with this Thursday night victory.
In Week 12, the Tennessee Titans make their way to New England facing the Patriots. New weapon Julio Jones is something the Patriots have not seen yet, and it's going to be tough for the Patriots to get past the Titans as they've struggled in the past with Derrick Henry alone. Now they've got to face Derrick Henry, A.J. Brown, and Julio Jones. I just don't think that the Patriots are going to be able to handle the Derrick Henry-led Tennessee Titans. They're still going to struggle stopping this guy, even though their run defense got stronger, and the Titans are still going to win in New England.
Then in Week 13, the New England Patriots hit the road, go to Buffalo for a primetime Monday Night Football game. Patriots are a little sluggish because they haven't had a bye week just yet. I believe that the Patriots are going to put up a fight against the Buffalo Bills, but it's going to be all for naught because I believe the Buffalo Bills are going to come in hot and heavy and actually roll over the Patriots in this one.
Week 14, the New England Patriots have their bye, and then Week 15, they're on the road in Indianapolis, a team they love to play. And every time the Patriots play the Colts, it's a similar result. It's an absolute blowout by the New England Patriots, even with Carson Wentz now leading the helm in Indianapolis and Cam Newton as the starter in New England, not Tom Brady. It's still going to be a similar result. The Colts are going to have a good time stopping the run against the Patriots, but I think that these two tight ends are going to be too much for their lackluster safeties. The wide receivers for the Patriots are going to be too much for their average cornerbacks. To me, the Patriots' offensive passing attack is really going to come through in Week 15.
Then in Week 16, the Buffalo Bills come to visit the New England Patriots in Foxborough, and you know what? They have had some time to rest and heal. They are coming their second week off their bye week, and I believe that the New England Patriots are much more prepared for the Buffalo Bills this time around. I think that the Patriots are going to eke out a victory against the vaunted Bills in Week 16.
In Week 17, the Jacksonville Jaguars make their way to New England. Another rookie matchup for Bill Belichick. He's going to love this even more as it's Trevor Lawrence, the #1 overall pick. He's going to want to make a statement against Trevor Lawrence, and he's going to want to show just how good this defense is. The Boogeymen, again, come through and are going to make Trevor Lawrence's life hell in Week 17. Patriots should have an easy time rolling over the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Then in Week 18, the New England Patriots hit the road for the final game of the season, head down to Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. And if there's one thing that the Patriots struggle with, it's going to Miami in December or January for this matter. And I believe that the Dolphins are going to really beat the hell out of the Patriots in this one. I think that both teams are going to be fighting for playoff positioning, but I believe that the Dolphins at this point have the upper hand, being in Miami, last game of the season. The Patriots, they've gone through some battles with some really tough teams, but at this point in time, Patriots are just not going to have it in Hard Rock Stadium in Miami.
With a record of 12-5, to me, this proves that Cam Newton will stay the starter throughout the entire season, and that we'll see Mac Jones in the upcoming season. But I think Cam Newton is really turning his career around. He had an okay season last year after everything he dealt with, and then coming into the season, he is really putting in the work. He's really getting ready, and he's really learning this offense, and this offensive playbook is learning him as well. The Patriots are really starting to come into their own post-Tom Brady era, and they're still looking to dominate the NFL.
Yeah, listen, the New England Patriots, it's no secret that Nick and I are both fans of this team. Either way, this team is built the way Bill Belichick likes to build his team. They're going to be hard-nosed running of the football with Damian Harris, Sony Michel, J.J. Taylor, James White, so on and so forth. And then on top of that, they attack the middle of the field with Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry, and these tight ends with Nelson Agholor and Kendrick Bourne on the outsides to really stretch the defense and open things up underneath. Look for Josh McDaniels to get a little more creative than he was last year with the passing offense. Cam Newton, another year under this system, another year removed from that shoulder surgery, on top of the fact that last year he dealt with COVID, all those opt-outs. I mean, like I said, the whole gambit is written for you if you really need to go through it. Either way, this Patriots team is going to be much more improved, and I really expect for them to be contenders for the playoffs once again. All right, well, that's going to do it for now. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. We go live every single day. That'll be all. Peace and love.